Never seen you like that!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most noteworthy celeb interviews that caused a severely negative response from the public, either towards the interviewer or the interviewee.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me.
Number 10. Britney Spears. The 2021 documentary, Framing Britney Spears, detailed the life and career of the titular pop star, particularly highlighting her treatment by the media. The film brought renewed attention to a November 2003 interview between Spears and veteran journalist Diane Sawyer. During their conversation, Sawyer grilled the singer about her publicized breakup with Justin Timberlake, seemingly blaming her for the relationship's end.
He's left the impression that you weren't faithful, that you betrayed the relationship.
Perhaps most egregious, she justified the statement of then First Lady of Maryland, who expressed a desire to shoot Spears, citing her as a bad influence.
The pop star wrote, quote, "Do we dare forget the Diane Sawyer interview in my apartment almost 20 years ago? What was with the you're in the wrong approach? Geez, and making me cry?"
Following the documentary's release, Sawyer faced severe criticism for her line of questioning, which many deemed to be sexist. Fans repeatedly called for Sawyer to apologize, but she apparently never heeded those calls.
Every time I try to fly, I fall without my wings. I feel so small.
Number 9. Lindsay Lohan. The Britney Spears documentary also sparked discussions about the sexism faced by other young female celebrities in the past. One such case involved Lindsay Lohan, who in 2013 appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman to promote her new film, Scary Movie 5. However, the interview took an uncomfortable turn as Letterman delved into Lohan's personal life, specifically her visits to rehab.
Aren't you supposed to be in rehab now?
Do you not watch anything that goes on?
Despite Lohan's requests to keep the conversation positive, the host persisted, eventually pressuring her to reveal the date of her return to rehab. After the interview resurfaced, Letterman received heavy backlash for his unprofessional questions. Many fans also drew parallels between this incident and Letterman's interview with Paris Hilton back in 2007.
How'd you like being in jail?
Number 8. Kim Kardashian.
I have the best advice for women in business. Get your ass up and work.
They say privilege blinds, and it perhaps never blinded anyone as much as media personality and businesswoman Kim Kardashian. In a March 2022 interview with her mother and sisters, Kardashian offered some controversial advice for women aspiring to launch successful businesses.
Well, that statement that I said was without questions and conversation around it, and it became a soundbite really with no context.
While her family appeared to agree with her, the same cannot be said for the public. Kardashian was widely criticized for what many deemed to be an out-of-touch statement from a privileged celebrity. Some were offended by the implication that women simply weren't putting in enough effort to achieve success, regardless of their disadvantages. Kardashian later defended herself, asserting that she always had to, quote, work extra hard and harder to be taken seriously.
The advice that I would give is just that having a social media presence and being on a reality show does not mean overnight success.
Number 7. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Just over a year after Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped back from official royal duties, they sat down for a 2-hour interview with Oprah Winfrey. In this conversation, the couple detailed shocking accusations against the British tabloid and the royal family.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
The discussion touched on claims that Markle was pushed to consider taking her own life, alleged remarks about their son's skin color, as well as Harry's strained relationship with his family. After it premiered, the interview received polarizing reactions, with US audiences being largely sympathetic towards the couple, while those in the UK supported the royal family.
And what I was seeing was history repeating itself, but more perhaps, or definitely far more dangerous, because then you add race in, and you add social media in. And when I'm talking about history repeating itself, I'm talking about my mother,
In the UK, it resulted in thousands of complaints to media regulator Ofcom and elicited a rare response from Buckingham Palace.
Loneliness, along with an onslaught of negative headlines that the palace would not refute.
Number 6. Jada Pinkett Smith. In 2020, Hollywood couple Will and Jada Pinkett Smith lit an online firestorm with details about their unconventional marriage and entanglements in a Red Table Talk interview.
As time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
Since then, the couple has consistently made headlines with more startling revelations, as well as the infamous slap at the 2022 Oscars. While promoting her 2023 memoir Worthy on The Today Show, Jada Pinkett Smith dropped another bombshell. She and Will had been separated since 2016.
So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
Many fans were stunned by this, especially since the couple had presented a united front in public. Others were fed up with the constant revelations about their marriage, accusing Smith of being a narcissist and exploiting Will to boost her book sales.
He invited her because he thought this was his crowning moment.
Sure.
In Hollywood, and he wanted her there, even though they weren't together.
Yeah, she was a part of his rise.
Yeah, so and then for him to say, my wife, I think that surprised her.
Number 5. Paula Deen.
You basically said you were exhausted. You told me you were distraught. How are you doing today?
In 2013, this celebrity Southern chef found herself in hot water after admitting to using racial slurs in the past. The revelation led to swift and severe consequences. Deen was dropped by several sponsors and dismissed by her longtime partners, the Food Network. After releasing a series of strange apology videos online, Deen appeared in an even stranger interview on The Today Show to discuss the controversy. Instead of taking full responsibility and apologizing, the chef portrayed herself as a victim and urged anyone without fault to cast the first stone.
I would never, and I can truthfully say in my life, I have never with any intention hurt anybody on purpose.
If anything, the interview, which was deemed insincere, only exacerbated Deen's troubles. She continued to lose more partnerships and eventually faded from the spotlight.
We are ending our relationship with Paula Deen, it announced, and will not place new orders.
Number 4. Prince Andrew. Following the 2008 conviction of American financier Jeffrey Epstein on sex trafficking charges, his connection with British royal Prince Andrew came under scrutiny. Allegations soon arose that Andrew had participated in sexual activities with a minor, which were arranged by Epstein.
Prince Andrew denied he ever saw his former friend with underage girls.
In November 2019, a few months after Epstein's death by his own hands, Andrew participated in a BBC interview addressing the allegations and his connection with the convicted financier.
At the time, there was no indication to me or anybody else that that was what he was doing.
The interview was a complete failure. The prince was lambasted for his perceived lack of remorse for the victims and his self-absorbed demeanor. As a result of the backlash, Andrew stepped down from his official duties and was subsequently stripped of his military titles and royal patronages.
Did you trust him?
Yes, I think I probably did. But again, I don't go into a friendship looking for the wrong thing.
Number 3, Michael Jackson.
I see God in the face of children. And I just love being around that all the time.
For a significant portion of his career, Michael Jackson faced multiple allegations of inappropriate behavior towards minors. In 2003, Jackson granted a series of interviews to British journalist Martin Bashir, later released as the documentary Living with Michael Jackson. Their discussions ranged from family and career to his plastic surgery and the misconduct allegations. Jackson admitted to sharing the same bed with children, but without any sexual intent.
But to my utter astonishment, I discovered that children were still sleeping over.
Nevertheless, the revelation sparked outrage, leading to the singer's indictment on multiple criminal charges. He was ultimately acquitted in 2005. Years later, Bashir was criticized by Jackson's family for manipulating him to secure the interview, similar to how he misled Princess Diana into granting him their infamous 1996 Panorama interview.
It took a long time to understand why people were so interested in me, but I assumed it was because my husband had done a lot of wonderful work.
Number 2. Charlie Sheen.
Well, I have one speed, I have one gear. Go!
How do you survive that?
Because I'm me. Because I'm me, I'm different. I just have a different constitution, I have a different brain, I have a different heart, I have a different, I get tiger blood, man.
Once upon a time, Charlie Sheen was on top of the world. He was the highest paid actor on television, earning nearly $2 million per episode. But while his professional life seemingly flourished, Sheen's personal life was in disarray.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there.
He had faced domestic violence charges and grappled with substance use disorder, which required multiple stints in rehab. In 2011, Sheen engaged in a public feud with 2.5 Men creator Chuck Lorre.
And I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, thing, or situation as being exactly the way it is supposed to be at this moment. Accept me, Chuck.
This culminated in a series of bizarre interviews in which the actor claimed to be a warlock with tiger blood who was undeniably winning. This all proved too much for the network, resulting in the swift termination of Sheen's contract. He was eventually replaced with Ashton Kutcher.
You can replace me with some other guy? Go ahead. It won't be the same.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. R. Kelly.
I'm very tired of all of the lies. I've been hearing things and seeing things on the blogs and I'm just tired.
R&B musician R. Kelly has been dogged by allegations of sexual assault and predatory behavior for most of his career. In 2019, the Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly examined these allegations and brought renewed attention to them. Amid the escalating controversy, Kelly took to CBS This Morning for an interview with Gayle King. The singer vehemently denied the claims, at one point leaping to his feet and yelling at the cameras. If he had hoped that it would help his case, then he was dead wrong.
You're killing me, man! This is not about music! I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids!
To many, it all seemed like an elaborate performance. A few months later, Kelly was indicted on a series of federal charges that would ultimately land him behind bars.
30 years. That's the sentence for singer R. Kelly.
What other controversial celeb interviews did not make our list? Spill them in the comments below.
I had never felt this feeling before, which was a primal urge to lash out